Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is of course Dan W. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Now, as you can see in front of me, we have the Walgreens Exclusive Marvel Legend Invisible Woman, one member of the Fantastic Four. Now, I've had this figure for a while. Don't know why I haven't got around to reviewing it yet. It's sort of just been sitting on the shelf, but let's crack it open and see what she's like out of the packaging. Now, as you can see here, she comes with Herbie the Robot. Now, trivia fact for you, when the first Fantastic Four cartoon came out, they thought a man turning on fire would be a bad influence for young people. So they replaced the Human Torch with Herbie the Robot. He was an actual member of the Fantastic Four, believe it or not. A little trivia for you. There she comes with a half translucent arm to show off her invisible effect or shield effect, and a little translucent hand. Side art as always, and then on the back you get a little read up, a picture of Fantastic Four, Susan Storm, and then Herbie, of course. She doesn't come part of any wave, so that's why you don't see a list of any of the figures. She is just a Walgreens exclusive, but we are hoping to get like the whole Fantastic Four at some point. We know the Human Torch is coming out later this year, so then obviously we just got Ben Grimm and Reed Richards to go. But hopefully we'll see like another Doctor Doom and maybe a Silver Surfer as well. That would be good. But yeah, let's open her up and see what we got. Pow, and here she is out the box, and to be fair, first impressions is I really like it. I don't have any other Fantastic Four figures, so she is my first, and I do look forward to getting the rest of these as they slowly trickle out. But yeah, really like it. Simple, but it's what it is, isn't it? It's like she's wearing the classic costume, and then we get one arm that's sort of translucent, showing off her force field / invisible effect. I would have preferred to maybe get an interchangeable arm, so we had a depowered Susan Storm, as this Susan's always going to have the one arm power now, which is a little bit awkward. In regards to accessories, we do get this other hand, so I'm guessing this pops off easy and this pops on. So now we get a sort of two translucent hands, which I'm sure someone can get her into some better poses than I can. But I really like that face sculpt as well. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Again, doing this live, so bear with me. Let me move these arms down. So there you go, there's the face. And in regards to Marvel Legends faces, let's be honest, that's pretty good. A lot of the face sculpts we get are really ugly, but it's not an ugly figure. And then there's a closer look at the effect. It's just translucent. But it's nice. You can sort of see the blue tint. The 4 is very simple, but clean. No paint defects or anything like that. The blue costume could have maybe been a little bit of a brighter blue, but I don't mind this more sort of a turquoisey, sort of aqua-esque blue. I don't mind it. But yeah, hopefully we get all the Fantastic Four figures in that same blue. It would be very frustrating if Hasbro didn't do that. What else have we got in regards to accessories? Okay, let me show you Herbie. So there's the interchangeable hand. There's Herbie. You might not see him very well on a white background, but there he is. He's got a pivot on the head. Well, he's on a ball joint actually, so you can move that all the way around, but no other parts articulated. You do get this nice little base that I didn't notice in the box at first, and it just sticks in the hole and make sure we get the right hole. That's what she said. And yeah, there you go. There's Herbie floating. So yeah. Simple as that, people. I very much like it. As I said, a simple figure, but once we start getting the rest of the Fantastic Four, it will start to pop on the shelf for definite. I do like the effect on her arm, do like the head sculpt. Maybe we'll get a variant completely invisible woman. I think we have had that in the past. But she stands very easy for a female figure. Articulation's in all the right places. Someone that pays more attention than me can tell you what body mold she's on. But the articulation's all there, double jointed knees as always. We get some decent ankle pivot. The only thing we don't get on female figures is what Hasbro don't want to give us, is double jointed elbows, which is slightly annoying as that's as far back as our hands will go. But yeah, other than that, head doesn't look up too much, but she's on like a swivel there, so she can move around quite a bit. You know me, I hate doing the articulation part, but people want to know. People want to know. But yeah, there we go. Again, my posing abilities are weak, but there she is. Susan Storm, Invisible Woman, Fantastic Four, Walgreens Exclusive, featuring Herbie. Whoops. Let's compare to some figures. Here she is compared to Cindy Moon, aka Silk, and then obviously the Scarlett Johansson, Natasha Romanoff, MCU version of Black Widow. And she looks like she shares the same body mold, to be fair, as Silk, but again, don't quote me on that. But let's be honest, these are the two of the best female head sculpts that we have. So let's compare her to some other blondes. Here she is compared to Sharon Carter and Mockingbird, 3 blondes. And I wanted to do some head swaps on these because it is just a generic female blonde head. So if you wanted to, I guess you could pop off this Sharon Carter head and maybe have this Susan Storm head as a replacement. But no, the pegs are too, well, the peg on Sharon Carter is too big. The Susan Storm head doesn't fit. I guess if you wanted to do some tweaking, you could get it to fit, but the head sculpt does not pop on straight away. Will she pop on for Mockingbird? Okay. There's Mockingbird. Okay, the skin tone is different. Okay, so the head does pop on, but the skin tone is different, and the neck, it just sits too high on the neck. You can actually see the joint underneath there. So it was a nice idea, but Mockingbird seems to be a little bit more tanned than Susan Storm. So yeah, to be honest, that idea didn't work. She doesn't actually fit on any of these hair properly. I guess someone who could do a bit of customizing could have a better go at that if they really wanted to, but she looks just fine on this Susan Storm head, doesn't she? So let's compare it to some male figures, and then we'll call it a day, shall we? And lastly, here she is compared to 2 male figures that I just pulled off the shelf in Peter Parker and Matt Murdock in Spider-Man and Daredevil, respectively. I think Spider-Man has actually been part of the Fantastic Four at some point. I think when he creeped into Baxter Building, he had to creep out and he lost his outfit, so they gave him like a paper bag and an old Fantastic Four outfit, and that's where the Bagman Spider-Man outfit come from. So if you're a player of the very, very old school PlayStation game, you'll probably know that. And maybe we'll get a Marvel Legends version one day. I wouldn't put it past them. I think there's been a 3 3/4 inch. But again, I'm rambling about some nonsense. Here's some Fantastic Four, Susan Storm. She looks fantastic. Ding, ding. Pow! So final thoughts is I really, really like Susan Storm. It makes me excited to get the rest of the Fantastic Four. I look forward to getting Reed Richards. It makes me curious to what sort of effects we're going to get with Reed, because obviously they've gave us a part of her effect for Susan. So surely they're going to have to give us some interchangeable parts for Reed Richards. Maybe similar to what they did with Miss Marvel recently, where we got those interchangeable arms with the sort of bendy or extended limbs sort of thing. We already know we're going to get Johnny Storm in his Flame On sort of attire. We're going to get that later this year. So obviously subscribe to the channel, as I will review that when I get it. Ben Grimm, maybe a builder figure, maybe a single pack figure, who knows. But nevertheless, she makes me excited to get the rest of the Fantastic Four. And Herbie's a nice little Easter egg, little bonus to package in to the box. Why not? So yeah, fair play Hasbro. But yeah, they're my thoughts. Great female head as well if you want to do some body swaps. My only gripe is maybe we should have got a depowered arm as well, just to have her naturally standing there. But other than that, really like it. So yeah, make sure you go to Walgreens and pick up this figure. I'm from the UK, so obviously we don't have the Walgreens over here, but I managed to get it from Kapow Toys, so shout out to them as always. But yeah, make sure you subscribe, people, and I'll see you on the next one.